Right, hello guys. So, in today's video, we're talking about a particular perk combo on a sword that you might want to consider crafting, as its utility value is something that's gone widely unappreciated. But before we get into that, you may notice that today's video is a little on the shorter side. The reason for this is because I'm wanting to go back to smaller, more bite-sized videos every once in a while, since after all, these types of videos were what my channel was originally built on. But anyway, enough rambling, let's get on with it, shall we? Today we're talking about Summum Bonum, but specifically the role you're seeing in front of you here, Attrition Orbs, Whirlwind Blade. So let's take things one perk at a time. Why Attrition Orbs? Isn't it just a really bad perk? Well, no. When it first came out, it wasn't the greatest, but now it's actually a pretty decent neutral game perk. Why? Well, it's all because of this one prismatic fragment facet of purpose. Facet of purpose makes it so collecting an orb of power grants you varying effects depending on what super you have equipped. And if you have a solar super like Golden Gun or Song of Flame, it grants you restoration ×1 for 5 seconds. Okay, so how often can we make an orb with Attrition Orbs on a sword? Well, if we're just doing light attacks, it takes 10 swings, which happens in the span of roughly 7 seconds, so not bad, but we're still 2 seconds without reprocking any restoration. How about if we tried 1 heavy 2 light? According to Aegis's data, 1 heavy 2 light with 3 copies of Loosened Blade is the optimal combo. As it turns out, doing 2 combos of 1 heavy 2 light spawns an orb, and this time it only takes roughly 5 seconds to carry out, and I think you can see where this is going. Doing the combo of 1 heavy 2 light, assuming you have 3 Loosened Blades, spawns an orb that matches up perfectly with the restoration timer from Facet of Purpose going away. So if you keep doing the combo over and over, you and your teammates will never run out of restoration. This is of course assuming everyone is running Prismatic with a Solar Super and Facet of Purpose, but in places like Herald of Finality, I think it's safe to assume most Hunters would be on Prismatic Goldie. Warlocks would probably be on Nova Bomb and Titans on Twilight Arsenal though, so no restoration for them. So how do we get around that? Easy. Simply run Recuperation on your boots, so each time an orb is made, you get a chunk of health. The reason this is okay is because the difference between double and triple surge is only 5%, and the way I see it, if in a Warlock's case it means giving up triple surges to hop on a Star Eater Nova Bomb instead of being on well duty, I'd very much take that trade. You see, that's the point that I'm trying to get at here. If you have someone on your team for either Crota or Herald, for example, that has an Attrition Orb sword, letting them be your source of healing rather than forfeiting an extra damage super for a Well of Radiance is far more optimal in my eyes. Furthermore, the orbs created also help to keep everyone's weapon surges topped up during the damage phase, and if you're also running Argent Blade from the artifact, which consumes charges, having the orbs keep coming back is an excellent way to maintain it. Not to mention, if you also have Radiant Orbs equipped, this will just keep feeding you that 25% Radiant every time you pick an orb up. Okay, let's wrap things up with our second perk, Whirlwind Blade. Normally, Whirlwind Blade takes 10 hits to reach the maximum 30% buff, but if your sword has Wolfpack rounds, the rounds themselves count as hits for the Whirlwind Blade hit counter, which in practice actually reduces the number of hits to reach the maximum buff stack to just 3, or a single 1 heavy 2 light combo. Personally, I would recommend Whirlwind over Chaos Reshape, since you can't guarantee you'll stay in combat right up to the DPS phase, and since Chaos is 35% and Whirlwind is 30%, the difference isn't large enough anyway. Lastly, make sure that if you're using an Adept Summum Bonum, you equip it with Adept Impact, since this is the last remaining weapon mod that actually increases our damage. A normal light swing on Carl goes from 21,409 without Adept Impact to 22,147 with it, which overall is a rather small 3.4% increase, but an increase nonetheless. So if you happen to have one of these swords lying around, next time you're doing the Herald of Finality, try going without a well, and I promise you'll thank me. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the shorter style video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Your support means the world. And if you're really into the content I create, consider becoming a member of the channel, which not only lets you support me in the best way possible, it also nets you a whole host of awesome perks along with it. A massive shout out to these members up on screen, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, dear viewer.